Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Asha Patil, Associate Professor from SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. Today we are going to discuss on a module Analytic Method and Eclectic Method. In the earlier module on synthetic method of literacy teaching and learning, it has been stated that there are three main literacy methods, namely synthetic method, analytic method and analytico-synthetic method. It is also called as eclectic method. In this module, we are going to study analytic method. It is also known as look and say method. It should be noted that analytic method is basically a word method. The term analytic refers to the mental process of breaking down the larger units into their constituent elements. That is, the sentence, which is a larger unit, is broken down into words and then the words into consonants and vowels. Let us see the learning objectives. After this module, participants will be able to explain the nature and structure of analytic method, discuss the analytic method used in different stages of literacy movement, compare analytic method and synthetic method, describe the innovations in analytic method done by different people in the field, explain eclectic method, which is a combination of synthetic and analytic methods. Let us see in detail what is analytic method. This method is opposite to the synthetic method. In analytic method, the sentence is first spoken out by the teacher, followed by learners. The sentence is written on the blackboard and necessary dialogues and conversations are made for introducing the letters. Since the sentence is analyzed or broken up into words and then words into letters, it is called analytic method. Illustrations, slides, film strips, etc. are used along with print materials. As the analytic method is based on breaking up larger units like sentence or words and coming down to words, various techniques are used which are discussed in today's module. Let us see the first technique, storytelling. According to this technique, first story is told, then sentence used in the story are explained. This is followed by the words used in these sentences are taught and later the alphabets used in these words are taught. Let us see one example. इंद्राचा हत्ती ऐरावत, तळ्यावर पाणी प्यायला गेला, तळ्यात कमळे होती, कमळे आवडली म्हणून त्याने एक एक कमळ तोडले, तेवढ्यात मगरीने पाय पकडला, ऐरावताला कळ आली, सुटण्याची धडपड केली पण पाय काय सुटेना, त्याला वाटले आपला काळ जवळ आला, तो काळा ठिक्कर पडला. Let us take one full sentence. एक एक कमळ तोडले. From this one sentence, we will pick up one word, that is kamal. Now from this one word, we will differentiate the alphabets. The kamal word has ka, ma and ra. These are the three alphabets. Once the learner learns these three alphabets, the teacher will ask them to prepare new words. The new words will be like this: kar, mar, karkar and marmar. Now, Professor Vandana Chakravarti, Director, Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension, will explain the same story in English.
Indra's elephant named Airavat. One day he went to drink water at the pond. Lotus had bloomed in the pond. He liked the lotus and plucked them one after another. Suddenly, an alligator caught the leg of the elephant. Airavat was in pain. He struggled to be released, but his leg was in firm grip of the alligator. He felt that his end was in sight. He blackened. From this story, let us take one sentence. Plucked one lotus at a time. Now from this sentence, let us take one word, lotus. Let us now separate each alphabet of this word, L, O, T, U, S. Now let the learners prepare a variety of words using these alphabets. Let us see some examples. L-O-T, lot, U-S, us, T-O-2, L-U-S-T, lust.
Friends, in this storytelling technique, first the teacher tells the story. From the story, any one important sentence is selected. From the sentence, the teacher takes any one word. Once the word is selected, the word is split into vowels and consonants. From those vowels and consonants, the teacher, with the help of the learners, prepares new words. Once the new words are ready, the teacher encourages the learners to prepare new sentence, so that the learners feel some achievement. Within a short period, learners learn many words and many sentences. This type of achievement gives boost to the learners and their motivation increases. Now let's see the next method, that is sentence technique. In this technique, the participant made to learn the words used in the sentences, and then he is taught the alphabets used in the words. Let us take the one example. Bharat माझा देश आहे. This is a meaningful sentence which is understood by all the learners. The teacher encourages the participants, learners, to discuss on this. After discussion, the teacher picks up one word, that is Bharat. In Bharat, there are 3 alphabets, that is consonants, and 1 vowel. They are B, R and T, and the vowel is A. With the help of these alphabets, the teacher encourages learners to make new words, such as Bhar. Bhar means load. Tar. Tar means wire. Bhat. Bhat means rice. So such words are prepared by the learners. Now the same exercise will be explained by Professor Vandana Chakravarti.
Now let us look at this sentence, Bharat is my country. From this sentence, the teacher selects one word, Bharat. Having selected that, the teacher separates the alphabets in that word, B, H, R, A and T. Once the alphabets are separated, the teacher asks the learners to develop new words, to coin new words with this word. So the learners may coin words like R-A-T, rat, T-A-R, tar, A-R-T, art, A-T, at, and such other words.
Now let us see the third technique, which is known as phrase technique. The teacher selects any phrase and tells to the learners. Once the phrase is selected, the words used in a phrase are taught first. After that, the alphabets used in it are explained. Let us see the example. Divyakhali andhar. In this phrase, the teacher selects one word, that is andhar. Andhar means darkness. From this andhar word, the teacher separates consonants and vowels. In andhar, the consonants are dh and r, whereas the vowels are and a. From these two alphabets and two vowels, the teacher encourages the learners to prepare more words. For example, dhara. Dhara means earth. Also dhara means to catch. Dhar. Dhar means flow of water. Also sometimes you can prepare names like Radha, name of a girl, or other words such as Randha, that means to cook, Andh means blind. Such many words can be prepared, and once the words are prepared, they can be used and prepared a new sentence. The same lesson can be explained in English by Professor Chakravarti.
Now let us look at the phrase technique. First, select a phrase. Light beneath darkness. Having selected this phrase, we select one word from this phrase. Darkness. Now break up this word into alphabets. T, A, R, K, N, E, S, S. Now ask the learner to make new words with the help of these alphabets, such as R-A-N ran, N-E-A-R near, D-E-A-R dear, R-E-D read, E-A-R ear, A-R-E-R, and so on.
Now let us see the fourth technique, which is known as word technique. In this technique, the participant is taught the alphabets and sounds used in words, and then same method is followed to teach the new words. Let us see advantages of adult learners' characteristics. How one can use the characteristics of adults while teaching literacy. In adult education, our learners are not there just to be taught. They are our greatest resource in the learning process. To explain, they have the wealth of knowledge, skills and experience in different fields. They are already engaged in some form of learning. They are aware about the purpose and need of education. They have reasoning powers which they use in their day-to-day life. The most important fact is that many learners have desire to apply whatever they learn immediately in their day-to-day life. The fact is that they are in a position to do so. Moreover, the adult learners already know thousands of words in the language, together with their meanings, and they have been using them quite properly in their day-to-day life. The only thing they don't know is how to read and write these words. All these factors form a powerful aid to learning. In analytic method, we analyze the word into consonants and vowels. Since the adults already know the words and their meanings, half of the job of the teacher is already done. Now, what the teacher has to do is to teach them the reading and writing of consonants and vowels. Also, ultimately learners should learn making new words from the known alphabets. The word technique. In this technique, adults are required to learn the alphabet through words, most of which are bisyllabic, and pictures are used to reinforce the letters. The words are familiar, as I have mentioned earlier, and the pictures are also meaningful. Drilling of these words is done through simple and easy sentences. when a new bisyllabic is introduced, it is ensured that one of the syllables becomes the focal point of attention, and the teacher tries to help the adult to recognize and learn the word as a whole. Use of flashcards facilitates the introduction and remembering of the new syllables. This method is also called as from known to unknown, due to the fact that words and letters are not introduced abruptly without relating them to something that is already learned by the adults. This picture word association method is called Ansari method. Let us see the various versions of word technique. First one is each one teach one method. This is the essence of the word method, but based on the concept of individualized instruction. In this method, only one person is made literate by one instructor, who may be a teacher or a volunteer or even a peer. About 20 cards are used for teaching literacy to adults. Familiar topics are used in this process for creating interest and making education meaningful. For example, names of various parts of human body and words related to them are utilized for teaching the alphabet. A set of cards containing the illustrations and concerned words are used by instructor along with the primer. This material was developed by Mass Program for Functional Literacy Unit of University of Mumbai. This each one teach one method is found effective for the adult learners, as they are quite experienced and adequately motivated for learning further. The next technique is chorus keyword method, which is also known as Pathic method. This method, popularly known as Pathic method, named after its author Shri Saligram Pathik. It creates an atmosphere in the class by the teacher giving an interesting talk and singing the chorus songs in the beginning. Most of the songs have a religious and cultural touch, which appeals to the village adult learners who come for literacy class. The theory is that it becomes easier for the adults to remember the key words because of its rhythm. These keywords are analyzed into their competent parts. These keywords are made out of 8 alphabets. Learners learn these 8 alphabets through words and sentences made by the combination of these alphabets and words. The success of this method depends upon not only a well-trained teacher, but a teacher who has ready wit and humor, interesting experiences to narrate, and an abundance of zeal and enthusiasm for the literacy teaching. Let us take the example. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Once this chorus is sang in the literacy class, the teacher picks up one word from this, say Raja Ram. Now once the word is selected, the teacher asks the learners to recognize the alphabets. In this chorus, we are selecting one word, that is Raja Ram. Now from this word Raja Ram, the alphabet R, Z, M and one vowel A is selected. As stated in earlier methods, from these new alphabets, the teacher encourages the learners to prepare new words. Now in this word Rajaram, and with the help of new alphabets R, J, M and one vowel A, the new words are prepared. For example, Raza. Raza means leave. Zara. Zara means little bit. Jar, that is water jar. Jam, which all of us we eat with the bread. Then Raja, that is a king. Mama, that is a maternal uncle, or some other names like Ram, Rama. So this becomes very interesting for the learners, and they start creating new words, and with the help of new words they prepare new sentence. Now the same story is explained in English.
As explained, we choose the chorus, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. From this chorus, we choose one word, Raja Ram. Break up the word Raja Ram into alphabets, R, A, J, A, M. Now we ask the learners to make words with these alphabets, and they make words like RAM ram, JAM jam, JAR jar, AM am.
Now let us see the next method, which is known as picture word card method. This method was used by Bombay City Social Education Committee on a large scale. In this method, there are 20 cards. On the left hand side of the card, there are 4 double color pictures of 4 objects. Their names are written below them. Up to lesson number 3, the names consist of bisyllabic words only. On the right hand side, the words are introduced on the left, which are printed at the top in red color. That is followed by a list of words made by permutation and combination of the letters used in the words already introduced. At one end of the card, there are 2 sentences made out of the words just learned. At the bottom of the page, all the letters used in the words introduced to the learners are printed in red color. Let us take the example of this picture where it depicts Kan, that is ear, Khan, that is a drawer, Nar, that is a tap, and the Ban, that is arrow. From this, the learners learns various vowels and consonants. The vowel signs are introduced from lesson number 5. With the help of the pictures, the learners are expected to recognize the words, and as the words are bisyllabic, combined with the fact that the language is phonetic, it is presumed that the learners will be able to analyze words themselves into their component parts and be able to make new words using those letters only. The learners are supposed to finish the set of 20 cards in 20 days. This set of cards is in a way a self-learning device. It is intended for overcoming the difficulties. This helps the learners to learn the basic literacy skills in the classroom. When the learners have learned the words and letters from a set at home during their leisure hours, the regular classroom instruction would begin for further learning. Let us see the example of lesson based on word method. This lesson is taken from a primer Nai Kiran, which is produced by State Resource Center, Lucknow. The first lesson in the primer number 1. It is theoretically teaching unit is a key word. This word is generally selected from the point of view that other words could be formed with the permutation and combination of the letters in it. That is, it is a generic word. The first lesson is reproduced here. The teaching scheme envisages that the teacher will first recite the couplets given on the page. Pointing to the picture, he will ask the learner, what does this picture show? If learners say ghar or maybe haveli, that is house or any other word, the teacher has to say that it is also called makan. Then he has to discuss with the learners what are the attributes of a good house, what type of houses they have, what are they made of, and so on. While discussing, he has to take care that the word makan occurs several times so that the learners become familiar with it, at least on the hearing level. Then the teacher points out to the word makan and says that this is how makan word is written. Teacher points to the letters, emphasizing the sound, and starts teaching the recognition of the letters ma, ka, a and na. The 4 letters are drilled in words. Then the learners read the accompanying text, which in the beginning lessons is made of phrases. It should be noted that this word method primer, and as a matter of fact all word method primers produced by state resource centers and some other voluntary agencies, are not constructed in a manner that the keyword becomes a sight word. It is splashed in the learning milieu to keep on observing it before broken into components. These are the fundamental pedagogical requirements of this method of teaching. In the absence of these requirements, the teacher in actual practice simply writes the word makan and begins drilling the letters ma, ka, a, na. Therefore, essentially it becomes a letter teaching method also, with the only difference that the letters are not introduced in their traditional order. There is no prop to recognize and recall them. All the other lessons are constructed on the same principle, selecting a keyword and teaching the recognition of the letters in it. However, in principle, the learner should be able to develop the ability of combining letters into words and words into phrases and sentences from the very beginning. Adult learners should also be able to read for meaning from the beginning. In this method, the learner is able to acquire these abilities after about 30 days when he has recognized all the alphabets. Friends, in this part 1, we have learnt about analytic method, and in the analytic method we have learnt various aspects of word technique. Now in part 2 we are going to learn about sentence technique and eclectic method. Thank you.